man, what's going on, Bob?
Hey, Bernie, good to see you. Good to be here with you on our first podcast.
Oh, God, this has been a long time in the making. Bob and I have been talking about stuff like this it's been so long, I don't even know where to start.
Well, I appreciate you waiting for me to get out of the halfway house. So,
yeah, man, you still got a few scars to prove it. I mean, your forehead looks like you. Were you the guy that killed that mountain lion? Or I read the stories. They say it was an 80-pound cat, but I'm starting to hear it was more like a 35-pound cat. You really just killed somebody's kitten, didn't you?
it was a kitten, but it was rabid, and we were out there in the wilderness for a while. And I'm telling you, Bernie, I don't know if you've been attacked by a wild kitten before, but
Rabid ones?
yeah,
A rabbit kitten?
Cabot.
Oh, cabots.
It's got back feet of a cat,
Yeah.
and front feet of a rabbit.
Fucking things jump like 45 feet high, I heard.
They're
pretty
fucking
big.
insane. So, let's get to the big elephant in the room right now, though. All right, let's just start with what everybody's thinking about right now, the lost art of the hand job.
I mean, it's not lost. I think it's on film. I'm pretty sure it's on film. They have at least 2 filmings of it. So it's not lost that the federal agents have the film of it. So apparently somebody's doing it right, because if you can draw a billionaire in to a $59 massage place, I think she had like extra fingers or something.
Well, I mean,
guess.
I'm not going to blame Robert Kraft. The guy's very successful, a billionaire, a very successful entrepreneur. Just going in for the Asian massage. We've all had one, right? I've not, but I'm guessing you did.
What if it was? What if she wasn't Asian though? Like, what if it was like a Russian chick? Like, he's always hanging out with that Russian billionaire over there at Philly.
Yeah, but they've got photographs, and it's a Chinese, an Asian lady.
It is.
Yes, it has been proven. Which I thought immediately might have been Lisa Terlucci.
That's a little bit out of my.
Well, the best hand
do
job.
I dare?
Best,
that's your.
Yeah, the best hand job story I ever had was Lisa
Now I'm scared
Terlucci.
to Google her because she probably is famous.
Oh, she's amazing. I mean, a hand grip like nobody's business. And an Italian chick from Jersey back in 1981. And this is when girls were respectful. You don't sleep with a girl, but you just move along.
She had one of those firm handshakes, didn't she?
She sure did, and
she really pop a fucking capillary on
She impressed me. In fact, I still remember her name, Lisa Terlucci.
And that's hard to say. That's not. I read it the other day when you text me, and I was very confused. I almost Googled it, but again, when something's spelt, that could be mob related. I wasn't gonna start digging up.
Well, her father was not impressed with Bob Ackerman, so it didn't last long. He had a very firm handshake himself.
Yeah, so. I'm sure he was.
And what's wrong with? I could see why they're tying it to him.
She's a beautiful girl.
Well, yes, and there seems to perhaps be a connection with him because I don't know. There's a slight resemblance. It could be some ex-employee of his, and I can tell you one thing. I also heard through the news that Robert Kraft's balls were not deflated.
See if I can maybe Google and see if I can't find what her picture is.
Yeah, you do that. And,
she was
she's quite the looker. But that's going to come out and probably going to explain how the deflated balls thing was a complete setup, because clearly you've seen the picture I've seen, but hottest girl ever that was giving him the pleasures that he seeked.
I have it here on my phone. I'm gonna have to maybe I bring it to the screen for the viewers at home that are they're gonna watch this. She's quite the looker.
I can't put my finger on.
She does look familiar, but she is
a little bit of Martha Stewart.
Something.
Yeah.
She's a Stewart, all right. I'll tell you that. So yeah, that's. I knew that's where this was going to go right from the get-go. But what are you really going to say? He's like 70-something years old. He just won his sixth Super Bowl, right?
Could be. I forgot. I don't care.
Yeah, once they stop fitting on your hands, it's going to be hard to count for you. But, hey, look, the future's bright over there in New York, right?
Oh, absolutely. The greatest quarterback of all time, Mr. Eli Manning.
That's the end of this podcast right there.
Is coming back for another season, so we're very excited. And obviously, Tommy can't last forever, and we'll see. Anyway, great subject to start off with.
Let's roll into the next subject.
Well, they said it was the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it was a tip.
That's what they said.
And someone tipped them off too.
Well, they
so-
also said there's larger names than his that'll be coming out in this investigation.
I did not hear that.
Yes, that's
Larger than the
Well,
Patriots owner.
Well, I've seen the video, and it won't be harder to be larger than he was in this video. But
so wait a minute, larger than who can fall into that? I mean, the president.
no, Donald Trump.
But that's my point. Who is larger than right now?
Goodell.
Ooh. You think that they had like a IHOP breakfast across the street first, and then we're like, what was the place called?
It was called. Let me hold on. They did say this on the national news. Who could be the larger name that's ready to drop in this investigation?
Gosh, I mean, honestly, that there's really only who does the president. It's got to be political.
Well,
If
we're in
it's
Florida.
Well, wait a minute. Where's your boy?
Who?
Where's your boy, Olstein? That would be.
Don't drag him.
That could be oh my God.
Completely
could
inappropriate.
you imagine.
I retract that. That is completely inappropriate.
I mean, let's get off this Robert Kraft thing before I get sued. Because
I'd like to get off.
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, do you even think that he gave the lady a good tip when he left?
She got a good tip, all right.
Well, maybe not.
I've seen the video.
But if it's a billionaire and he just won his 6th Super Bowl and he walks out and leaves you $15 after you gave him the best hand job, obviously, that he's had in a while, he came back to you a second time.
So do you think he has 6 cock rings on that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They got the Patriots emblem.
I don't want to get political again, but Trump wants our people to give Robert Kraft hand jobs. We don't need to import hand jobs from China when Americans could be giving the hand job
The
to the
Chinese
New
are
England
killing.
Patriots.
Yep. Chinese are killing us. That's
What?
a great point, Bob. Great point.
Let's bring hand jobs back to America again.
Let's make hand jobs great again.
Lisa Tralucci for president.
Yeah. Ooh. First female president.
And a firm handshake.
Firmest handshake you've ever had.
Cannot deny.
God, that woman. I need to meet her.
I wish I could.
Do you think
too.
she held up?
Her hands probably did.
Because Italians age pretty well, don't they? I've got one, so as long as I keep the booze away from her, she's half Irish.
I
I'll be
think
all right.
the proper career for her after what I experienced was probably a kneading of some dough, like a bakery or something. Where
She could be a massage therapist. And then, like, when you need a little extra money, pull the old skills out of the bag. Growing up, it was baseball, right? Baseball was America's sport.
Absolutely.
And, you guys would sit around the radio and listen to it. You'd have to, like, prime the radio and put gas in it and pull the lawnmower cord to get it to work.
No, I didn't do that. We had a television, Bernie.
That you put gas in and prime to start.
It was run by wind power, but okay.
Man, you guys, even back then, you guys were smarter.
Yeah.
That's impressive. So, you guys, baseball was the sport. And, I mean, it shows because they really did, even when I was growing up, they were paying their players much more money. And I've asked athletes what the best sport is to play. Like, I have a football player that's one of my customers, and he said baseball, hands down, for the amount of money that you're going to make and what you actually have to do. But here's my question. Over the last probably 10 to 15 years, it's turned to football. But what do you think the sport America, the United States, is watching the most and they're really behind right now?
Baseball.
See, I got to disagree, Bob. I really do. I personally think that it's the NBA. As much as I don't even care anymore, I almost, like, part of me wishes it was MMA. Just because, at least those guys still punch somebody in the face and they get paid for it. Hockey's great too, but it doesn't matter. It's not the physicality of it anymore.
My problem with basketball is that every year you have all the good players defecting to 1 or 2 or 3 teams to always chase a ring, as opposed to other sports where you stay and you play. Larry Fitzgerald in football, he hasn't left to go get a ring. He's still here. Baseball players don't chase rings all over the place unless, of course, you're smart and you join the Yankees.
I was gonna say, I think you guys literally cherry pick almost as many as, if not more than my team, the Red Sox, do. So I can't really say anything about that.
You can't blame the Chinese masseuse for trying to get out of China. So
look, we paid $100 million for some Chinese kid to come throw baseballs over here. So
probably got a good grip.
He did have a good grip.
Yeah,
mean fastball. Mean. No, I really do though. With the whole Kaepernick thing, and I actually do want to discuss that before we get to something else, because he did settle. So I want to get back to that. But basketball, honestly, I feel like that's where a lot of the kids are watching it because sneakers are getting that big uprising again. A lot of kids are buying shoes. They're showcasing them on the floor. They're wearing a pair in that are hard to get when they're walking in. Fashion, because these guys are walking in like fashion models. I think that they're pulling from different elements, and I think that maybe if it's not already overtaken, I feel that it's going to overtake. A lot of people watched the All-Star game this year, man, and I didn't even. The dunk contest was trash.
I agree with you, Bernie, that basketball has a golden opportunity now to seize the moment because America is tired of the football deal. They jumped the shark. They thought they were better than they were, and then they disrespected the flag in certain ways, which kind of irritated, isolated some Americans, whether you're on one side or not. It doesn't really belong in the middle of that sport you're watching. The NBA, all you need is a basketball and a broken down a rim, and you can go play in the inner city, in the cities. Baseball, you need 6, 7 people to come out with your bat and your cleats and go find a field. It's much more accessible for the American youth, and like you said, your celebrities, your rap stars, and all these things. It's much hipper. And baseball is definitely old.
More style. It's got more style to it all around. Even watching the game,
I can see
some of the football. So I'll give football that they do have. You know, you look at Odell. Odell's doing that same thing. He does. He's wearing the clothes. He's wearing the shoes. He's got technique on the field that hasn't really been seen. He's just a different. He's Deion Sanders.
Odell Beckham from the Giants.
I'm trying to. Hey.
Sorry.
No, but seriously, he reminds me a lot of who was it, Deion back in the day. You know, just has that style. He's not quite as cocky. I think he's a little bit more emotional. Than Deion. Deion didn't care.
Deion was way better.
Yeah, Deion was.
He could play baseball. He was a two-sport athlete.
Let me tell you right now.
He's got a World Series ring.
If Odell decided he wanted to play baseball, I'm sure that dude could stand up there and be a DH and just knock him out of the park. If you don't think that dude's got the ability to swing.
Who?
I don't know.
Odell Beckham?
Joel Smeckham. Hey, now.
Giants. I'm just sorry every time you rip.
Well, I mean, Julian Edelman could probably go play shortstop. Let's not act like he couldn't. Well,
I don't know the girl. Never heard of her.
Yeah, I know. You probably didn't pay attention to that new ring that he got or she got or whatever you want to call it.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah. The MVP of the Super Bowl this year. Yes, you did. I'm sure you did.
Well, you know.
But I know.
I do agree with you that basketball has its opportunity right now to take it over. It's got the inner city going for it. It's got a simple, all you need is a basketball and a dream, and you can go out to it.
Now, I'm not trying to suck the NBA's dick, so slow down. Because the dunk contest this year was absolutely trash. And LeBron, like all the shit besides, put all the shit besides the point of that you're the greatest fucking player, blah, 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 blah. I hate your attitude anyway, but all that aside, do a fucking dunk contest. You piece of shit. We've been watching you since you were 13 years old, doing shit that people are like, we're waiting for you to jump from the fucking 3-point line, buddy. And you've been acting like you just got it in the bag somewhere. And I want to see it because the 3-point contest was way more exciting this year.
Well, it's better to shoot. Yeah, I agree that the dunk contest, they should get rid of it altogether. It's jumped the shark, no pun intended.
But I disagree.
How about to spice it up? You take the best 3-point shooter in the NBA statistically coming into the All-Star break. Maybe it's Steph Curry. I don't know who's doing the stats, the best of the shooting of the 3-point. And you take him against a John Stockton, Michael Jordan, somebody who was the great 3-point shooter of the past, and you have kind of a present to past skills because you don't lose your shot.
If you're going to do that, though, you're looking at James Harden.
But you don't lose your shot.
That dude's doing stuff that's...
I'm saying Larry Bird can probably still shoot threes because he's old. He probably can't move around.
That old man's probably got like 4 ruptured discs in his back.
He can shoot a 3-pointer.
No way.
You don't lose your shot.
He might hit 1 or 2, but to be in a competition where your adrenaline's pumping, your body's tighten up, I'm going to tell you right now, Bird. Dude, where is it? I don't even know. My grandmother She cross-stitched this for me when I was a kid.
That's actually beautiful.
It is pretty cool.
That is.
But I'm gonna tell you, I'm one of the biggest Larry Bird fans ever. I'm 33 right now. I thought this was gonna be the year of all years for me. It was the year of the bird for me. I was so excited, and I did have a good year. And I mean, we're doing this right now. I haven't turned 34 yet, so who knows what goes from here? But when's the last time you had a quiche?
I don't own that many shoes or coordinate my clothing, so I don't eat quiche.
You look like a guy that would have, like, you got your grandmother's quiche recipe.
Are you kidding
you
me?
You sit in her old chair with the knit thing on the back still.
I eat well. I also am sponsored by Red Bull, Canadian LTD.
He's not sponsored by either. He sponsors both of them.
When you cannot afford Black Velvet, you hit the CT LTD.
If you ever want to get naked in a park and show people things they should never see, drink some of that or some Black Velvet.
Those days are gone, my friend.
Yeah. They're behind us. There's still one poor lady that's probably visually scarred for the rest of her life, but that's okay.
We're Facebook friends.
That's okay. I'm your host, Bernie Dyke. This is Bob Ackerman. Thanks for hanging with us today.
Peace out.